Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. As always, your host with the most ghosts. So today we have the 2021 WWE Pay-Per-View Collection. We have 11 events to get through here today. And yeah, this one has been long overdue. I do apologize for the, quite the delay. I mean, we are almost at Wrestlemania 38. And, first off, I do want to quickly say, this past week has just been very sad, very somber type week, but rest in peace, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. Man, I still can't believe it. Just gone way too soon. So to kick things off here with the 2021 Pay-Per-View Collection, the Royal Rumble 2021. Actually a pretty good show. Considering most of these were in the Thunderdome era, it's hard to really rate a lot of these shows and, properly critique them. It's a difficult scale to do since, there was, no live crowds and things like that up until WrestleMania, and then we wouldn't have any crowds again until Money in the Bank. So I would say this was a fairly good Rumble. I love this artwork, the comic book type feel. So yeah, you got really cool stuff here. It did come with an Edge trading card, a lot of cool stuff. So this was like Drew McIntyre's kind of going for a double. Or sorry, this was Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre. And yeah, I honestly completely forgot about a lot of this stuff. It's like I said, it's hard to rate, and a lot of it, it kind of just meshed together. We did have Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, Charlotte and Asuka defending the women's tag team titles against Baszler and Jax. Looks like we had Sasha Banks versus Carmella. Edge ended up winning the Royal Rumble after, one of the greatest returns of all time in the 2020 Rumble. So Edge would return to the main event of WrestleMania. So that's the Royal Rumble. Also, Bianca Belair. What a fantastic win there. Winning the Royal Rumble. The Women's Royal Rumble. Elimination Chamber 2021. Again, a fairly decent show. Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns were really the all-stars of the Thunderdome era, I would say. Roman Reigns broke out in this new character. Drew McIntyre was, headed for a pretty good push in 2020. And, who knows? If the crowd maybe would have turned on Drew, his reign may not have been, what it was. But Elimination Chamber, a fairly good show. And yeah, this is where The Miz would win the WWE title. Remember when The Miz won the title? I don't. Yeah, it happened at Elimination Chamber, believe it or not. So yeah, we did get a Shayna Baszler card. Is it Baszler? Baszler? I always say Baszler. Yeah, we had Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, and Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin at a shot to go to WrestleMania, or at a shot to challenge Roman Reigns that same night. Roman Reigns just absolutely annihilated Daniel Bryan in under 2 minutes. Not the best pay-per-view. For me, it's always been that the chambers have been a little bit too predictable, and this is going back over 10 years now with some of these pay-per-views. They've just been way too predictable. Bobby Lashley was actually the U.S. champ at this show, and I believe Matt Riddle would win the title. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler versus Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. I was never really a fan of the way they did this angle with Sasha and Bianca. I don't know. I just don't like the, can they coexist storyline. It's been done to death in WWE. Way too much. We also had Drew McIntyre in a very good chamber match with AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Kofi, Randy Orton, Sheamus. And The Miz did cash in on Drew McIntyre in a match that lasted about 30 seconds. So yeah, fairly decent show. But again, I was never really a fan of the way they did that Sasha Bianca storyline. A lot of people did like it. I wasn't a fan of it. Yeah, Roman Reigns was just on top of his game in this era. Next up, Fastlane. Very cool pay-per-view poster type cover. I don't know what it is, but the Canadian versions, I never get my Topps card. Once in a while, I think they throw them in there, but yeah, I believe The Miz was more of a transitional champion here. With I don't even know if he made it to this event as the champion. But we did have some cool stuff with Sheamus and McIntyre, Rollins and Nakamura. Again, the Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. Another chance at the women's tag titles. We had Big E versus Apollo Crews. So there was some good stuff here. And then Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss. Yep. And it was Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. Edge was the guest enforcer. So they were kind of building to WrestleMania. It was really good. And then, the creepy Fiend there, all burnt up and whatnot. Alexa Bliss defeats Randy Orton. Next up, we would have WrestleMania 37. The first the second two-night event. And we do have a DVD alternate here from the UK exclusive, which did come with a custom alternate cover. So we'll run down all this in a quick minute, but this was the first WWE pay-per-view with a live attendance in about a year or so. Over a year. Yeah, Elimination Chamber, I think 2020. Or I think it was Super Showdown 2020, actually. The Saudi show was their last show with fans. But yeah, pretty cool alternate. Nothing too crazy though, but yeah, here's a quick side-by-side. If you'd like to pause. So yeah, this would be the second two-night WrestleMania. And the Blu-ray and DVD sets were released in North America. The UK did release, as always, a special 4-disc set with alternate covers and whatnot. So, yeah, very, very cool. So I always get the Blu-ray and the alternate covers. Kind of create your own custom. So yeah, night 1, I still think was really good. Night 2, again, triple threat championship match, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, and Edge. So yeah, let's take a quick look at this big 4-disc set. Yeah, we had Lashley and McIntyre open the show, which was had quite the delay due to weather and rain. You know, we did get some cool memes out of it. Bad Bunny with Damian Priest versus The Miz and Morrison. And a very good shot of the WWE champion there. So the discs are all pretty much the same, just different colors and whatnot. Red, yellow, and black. But the UK release did come with a bonus disc, which features all type of stuff from Raws and SmackDowns and whatnot. NXT TakeOver, a few matches from that. Yeah, we had Balor versus Karrion Kross, the Andre, NXT Triple Threat, Women's Championship match. I always feel like they leave out the better matches. I'll have to look it up in a minute, but to get a Drew McIntyre Topps trading card. So the bonus disc, I usually put the 2 Blu-rays and then our bonus disc and make a custom 3-disc set. So yeah, let's take a look at this beautiful stadium they created. So WrestleMania 36 was originally planned here, got moved to the Performance Center, and WrestleMania 37 would take place at Raymond James Stadium. So yeah, there's a picture of Cesaro and Rollins, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, got Rhea Ripley, Sheamus. It's Sheamus and Riddle. Another shot of Reigns, Heyman, Uso, Sasha and Bianca. Excellent match. Rhea Ripley, Rollins. So yeah, this was a fantastic show. Quick shot of the spine. So matches I think that should have been on the bonus disc here was Walter and Walter and Ciampa, and then Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole. That Walter Ciampa match was just unreal. So yeah, that's WrestleMania. WrestleMania's always loaded DVD set. And personally, I feel like the 4th disc should be the complete NXT show. Or the Hall of Fame, I think it should be. The Hall of Fame should get its own DVD set. NXT's pay-per-views should get their own DVD sets. If they want to include Raws and SmackDowns with WrestleMania, that's fine. I'd still like the Hall of Fame in some form or fashion on a disc. So let's get to Backlash. So what was dubbed WrestleMania Backlash of 2021. Honestly, not the best show. Probably one of the weaker shows of 2021. Bayley card. I'm still not a fan of this disc art. So yeah, we had Bobby Lashley, I believe, versus Drew McIntyre, right? Oh, it was Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre. Cesaro versus Roman Reigns. So yeah, that was a really good match. We had the Mysterios, I believe, versus Bobby Roode and Ziggler. Bianca Belair versus Bayley. Rhea Ripley versus Asuka and Charlotte. You know, decent event. You know, we also had the match with Damian Priest, The Miz, and Zombies. Oh, man. Hell in a Cell. Probably one of the better shows of the pandemic era, COVID era, whatever you want to call it, the Thunderdome era. I always liked Hell in a Cell. It's one of my favorite match stips. So this would be the final show in the Thunderdome. Bobby Lashley, we got a Miz trading card. Red disc art. We got a lot of red disc art. And we did get included the SmackDown Hell in a Cell with Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio, as you could tell on the spine. Pretty cool. But this was Lashley and McIntyre's big blow-off, I guess. We got Bianca Belair and Bayley once again. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And then Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. A pretty good show, honestly. You know, definitely check out Hell in a Cell. Money in the Bank 2021. We got the big return of John Cena. So at this point, we had not seen John Cena since WrestleMania 36, over a year and a half prior. And yeah, you know, John Cena has been very successful out in China and Korea, doing, you know, a lot of films. John Cena has been a very, very busy man the past few years. So it was a good surprise. I don't think it was as big as a surprise as people thought it was. But it was certainly shocking. It did set up a good match for SummerSlam. But I can't remember if it was spoiled or not. You know, we had Edge and Roman Reigns. Got a Otis Gold. Green Money in the Bank. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it was Roman Reigns and Edge. And then it was Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley. Yeah, spoiler on the backs here with both Money in the Bank winners. Big E getting his big moment, which was just fantastic. This was very well done. And then Nikki Ash, not the biggest fan of that. We also had Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. Yeah, this was a pretty stacked show. You know, very good show. I just feel like the women's Money in the Bank, it needs more, you know, suspension of disbelief. You need some type of build here with the women. I believe the last 4 or 5 women have all cashed in within 24 hours. Sorry, the last 4 winners. With Alexa Bliss in 2018. I believe 2019 was Bayley. Last year with Asuka. And this year with Nikki. The Asuka thing is still going to be, you know, whatever it is. Oh, she got the championship. Storyline wise, it's so bad that people try to make something good out of it with Asuka. Nobody knew the championship was in that briefcase. Just stop it. So, Money in the Bank 2021, John Cena, Roman Reigns, build to SummerSlam. Very good show. And we get to SummerSlam 2021. Another very good show. Honestly, I thought this was a fantastic show with Cena and Reigns, Goldberg and Lashley. Yeah, I believe Edge and Rollins kicked off their feud here. And the return of Brock Lesnar. This was weird in a clear case. I'm not sure why. But if they're going to put them in clear cases, I've always said this. Put some interior artwork. Put a match listing. Please. Put a match listing. This looks awful. Plain white. You know, put some type of artwork there. And we do get another Drew McIntyre. I think this is the same one from WrestleMania. But Becky Lynch returns and beats Bianca Belair in like 20 seconds. Questionable booking again. I know everyone can't get the time they would like, but it's building to this year's WrestleMania with Bianca and Becky. Cena and Reigns was fantastic, but we all knew Cena was not winning. We knew Cena wasn't winning. That's just it. And, Rollins and Edge, two of my favorites. Lesnar's one of my favorites. Honestly, I'm becoming a big Roman Reigns fan, despite what everyone thinks of him. So, very good show. I think we had pretty much 3 pay-per-views back-to-back that were fantastic. Then we get to Extreme Rules. I think it's time to do away with this pay-per-view. It's had its run. It's had some really good shows. I think this past year's Extreme Rules was just awful. One Extreme Rules match, I get it. You want to build the hype to a no holds barred championship match. They brought the Demon out, which I believe prior to this had only lost 1 match. It was a decent show, but it wasn't an extreme show. And honestly, we all knew Mr. Finn Balor there was not walking out with the title, because they've already booked Lesnar and Reigns for the next pay-per-view. The beautiful Sasha Banks let's see here. Honestly, I can't see anywhere where they mention Sasha Banks. We had another match with Bianca and Becky. Damian Priest defending the U.S. title against Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. Alexa versus Charlotte. The New Day reunite to take on Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, and Omos. So yeah, this was right into Big E's title reign, and he wasn't even announced for the show. Wasn't even on the show. This might be one of Tony Storm's... Is that Tony Storm? No. Jesus, why does that look like Tony Storm? But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Charlotte anyway versus Alexa Bliss. Again, good show. Not extreme enough for my personal taste. It could have been a Fastlane pay-per-view. It could have been anything. It was not an Extreme Rules show. Last couple here with Crown Jewel. I thought this was actually a decent event. One of the better Saudi Arabia shows. And somewhere around this point in time, I had so much trouble with Walmart. They just were not... they were not getting the DVDs on time or whatever. And I could not find them anywhere. But the big match here was Lesnar and Reigns. The sneaky Paul Heyman in the corner of Roman. Was he going to, turn his back on Lesnar? We had our King of the Ring and Queen of the Rings crowned at this event. We also had a triple threat match with the women. We had Goldberg versus Lashley once again. Big E versus Drew McIntyre. Seth Rollins and Edge, Hell in a Cell. So Rollins and Edge absolutely tore it up. Fantastic stuff. Definitely go out of your way. Check out this pay-per-view. Check out some of the key matches here with Edge, Rollins, Reigns, and Lesnar. And finally, we have the Survivor Series 2021. WWE Champion Big E on the cover. And look, I'm happy Big E was WWE Champion, but, he just was not booked as a top champion. I think they did him a disservice after that awesome build, Money in the Bank cash-in and whatnot. Just not how I pictured him as a WWE champion. So this was a decent event. I don't think this was the best Survivor Series ever or anything like that, but nothing really memorable that really sticks out to me. Yeah, we had Roman Reigns versus Big E, title for title. RK Bro versus the Usos. Liv Morgan. You know, a women's Survivor Series match, a men's match. Yeah, they've been big on the champion versus champion match with, Charlotte versus Becky. Champion versus champion. US versus IC match. Is that Rollins versus Jeff Hardy? Very cool. So it was actually Damian Priest versus Nakamura on the pre-show. Not sure if that match is actually on here or not, but decent event. We also had a Rock 25th anniversary battle royal in which my boy Omos won.